Good morning from Fantasy Island, located in Ingoldmells, Skegness, where I've come to see all the changes for the 2018 season. That includes a complete repaint of the Millennium roller coaster. We'll be checking that out. It's located just outside. I'll be sharing plenty of shots from the rides. It's also had a redesigned train, which does look fantastic from photos that I've seen. Along with that, there's a couple of new rides around Fantasy Island. It does mean that a couple of older rides have had to be removed, so I'll be keeping you up to date on those as well, seeing what's gone and what new things we've got here for the 2018 season. Now I am here on my own today. It will be a solo vlog. I had a solo vlog on the channel for quite a while actually, but I thought we'd come down here and see what's coming on really in terms of new rides and changes. Now obviously last year we came to the park and was really impressed by the indoor section, the pyramid here, which still looks stunning, it really does. You've got the projection mapping up there on Dragon Mountain, which is a water slide that runs all the way around the indoor section. Loads of indoor rides, and it's just got a really magical feel to it. All the audio, the lighting, I think it looks fantastic. I mean, anyone who came here before will remember that all the roof here was open, so there's a lot of light what used to come in, and it made it really bright. Whereas now it's got a really nice atmosphere in here. You've got the mini golf which runs around the bottom here with all the dinosaur animatronics, and this looks amazing. I still can't get over how good it looks compared to how it used to. Like I say, this overhaul of the indoor area was done for last year, and that came with a repaint of the Odyssey roller coaster. It's not very windy today, so I'm hoping to get on Odyssey. It's nice and early, it's just gone 10:30, and the indoor rides in here are open until 7 PM this evening, with the outdoor rides closing at 6. So it is the Easter holidays at the moment. I think it will get busy later on. Like I said, I've got here early to come and have a little look round, and it's just nice to be in here. It feels like they've done even more enhancements for this year, and obviously this is a really important investment for the park, because obviously a lot of parks nowadays, everything in this country seems to be outside, so it's really nice. So you've got this big indoor section, which is all weather fun, isn't it really? And it's got a really nice atmosphere. Like I say, the magical music playing, and every so often you get the projection mapping show up there on Dragon Mountain. And then start off the day, probably have a ride on Millennium Coaster, and then have a look round and do some of my favourites here at the park. It's going to be a good day. Here we go then, so I'm climbing up the lift hill on Millennium, on the front row of this one, and I must say the trains look really good with the new design on. All the caravans just over there. Whee. Here we go. Woo! Woo! Oh, it's a bit windy. Woo! Oh yeah. It's so smooth.
Yeah.
Woo!
You don't get one bit of raggedy.
Whee! Fantastic views over there to the sea. Woo!
Seat's broken.
Woo!
Helix.
Here we go. Helix, 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 helix. Woo! There we go. Good start to the day then there with a ride on Millennium. It's a fantastic roller coaster manufactured by Volcano, and even though it's called Millennium, it actually opened in 1999. I know I say this every time, but it's one of the most enjoyable roller coasters in the UK. It's so smooth, and it's just a really nice, enjoyable experience. All the views as you're going round on it. Obviously you can see over to the sea and the beach as well. Yeah, it's just a really nice, enjoyable coaster, that one. And I like the colour scheme as well. I mean, that's a bit controversial because obviously it used to be red and yellow, but but now the track is purple and the supports are green. Now a lot of people have been commenting on different photos that the park have released over winter, saying that they weren't too sure on the colour scheme. I've seen it in person and I actually think it looks quite nice. It's not the colours that I would have picked if it was my theme park, but I certainly think it looks better than it did before, and I really just appreciate the fact they're giving the park all this TLC really, because it looks great. Like I say, all the indoor area, what they did last year, Odyssey, which they did last year, and also I've just seen Odyssey testing. The past 2 times I've been up here to Fantasy Island, I've not got an Odyssey. It's just a shame that Mr. Lee Wood's not with me today, because Lee's still never been on Odyssey, so it's a shame that he's not with me today, because it looks like we're going to get on it. It was testing just. Like I say, the wind is quite low today. But yes, going to one of my favourites now, the Magical Seaquarium ride. Let's see if they've done any enhancements in here for this year. There was a few things not working last time I was here, but you never know, they might have done a few more bits inside here now to fix it up a little bit, or even give it a new lease of life to fit in with the rest of the inside. So let's get on board.
By the land breeze at evening star, and with the motionless dog a-hauling on the hook, it's time to set sail to the westward, where shoals of sea creatures are captured for your delight.
This ride has got one of the most addictive soundtracks I've ever heard on an attraction. I love it. Every time I go home from Fantasy Island, I always got this stuck in my head before I can sleep. One more time. Even get some lyrics around this section as well. The star of the show. It's the Spying Lobster, everybody! I can't believe it, it's a miracle. I've just come off the Magical Seaquarium, I've stepped outside, and look what's in operation. The Odyssey, the world's largest Volcano suspended looping coaster that opened here at Fantasy Island in 2002, and there it is in operation. Wow. Great to see it actually running. I've always picked a day where it's too windy for it to operate. And I'm actually here on a day where it's working today and the park's really quiet, which means I can get some re-rides on it. Just look at the size of the thing. It's a stunning roller coaster. I mean, I'm not a big fan of Volcano SLCs, but this is worth the pain, if you know what I mean. I find them a bit too rough, a bit too jolty, but to be honest, this isn't as bad as the SLCs, what are the standard layout, such as Infusion at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. Don't get me wrong, it's still not a smooth roller coaster at all, but God, I'm just shocked to see it running, to be honest. Yeah, it's sure not a smooth roller coaster, but it's certainly worth going on because of the size of the thing. It's crazy, and the fact you can stand right underneath it now in this new little beach area. I mean, this was done last year. I remember seeing it on the park social media, and it might look a bit dated at the moment. I assume they're getting it ready for summer. It's not really the nicest day for it today. We are still at the start of April, but yeah, in the summer this will all be packed with people enjoying the beach. I mean, yeah, the real beach is only a 5-minute walk in that direction, but I suppose they've put this in because the idea is keeping people inside the park. They don't want them going to the beach, they want them in here visiting the market and of course spending money on the rides. But God, I really need a haircut. I've just realised today how long my hair actually is. Anyway, I'm going to get round there, I'm going to go on the Odyssey. I'll probably have a few re-rides on it, make the most of it, because like I say, it's been shut the past couple of visits. So yeah, looking forward to getting back on it. I just can't believe I've actually come on a day where it's operating and Mr. Lee Wood's not here to enjoy it. And Charlotte as well, she's not been on it either. Shocking. Right, let's get on the Odyssey.
Here we go then, just started climbing the lift hill for the Odyssey. I still can't believe it's actually open today, but it's a good day to come today, a really good day. You get some fantastic views from up here as well. Obviously I'm on the chest mount, so I can't move the camera around much. Towards the back of the train then on this one. I'm actually on the second row from the back, meaning that we're going to get pulled down the drop in just a second. You get some really good views, of course, over to the sea. The caravans, it is quite windy up here though, I'm not sure how much you can hear me. Oh wow, great to be back on this ride again. And here we go. Oh wow. Woo-hoo-hoo. Oh yes. Woo-hoo-hoo. Whoa. It's actually quite smooth. Seems to be smoother than the last ride I had on it. Is the final version. There we go. Odyssey.
To get back on the Odyssey here at Fantasy Island. It really is an impressive coaster, and mainly because of the height of it. It's 167 foot tall, meaning you get some fantastic views. Like I said just before I went on, it's the world's tallest Volcano suspended looping coaster. I'm not normally a fan of them, but this one, it is a good one. And to be honest, it wasn't that rough this time. I mean, you look at it from here, it's so impressive seeing two massive roller coasters there, of course, Millennium and the Odyssey. And over in the background there, you can just make out the 120 foot tall loop which there is on the Odyssey. It was running really well actually, not too rough that time. Last time I went on it a few years ago, I remember it being a bit more rough than that, maybe because it's early in the morning, it's not probably warmed up yet, but to be honest, that was a lot more enjoyable, one of the most enjoyable rides I've ever had on it, to be honest. So yeah, Odyssey running good, and hopefully the wind will stay low, which means I can have a few rides on it later on today. And I've had a few other changes here at Fantasy Island for 2018. Fantasy Mouse, that's back just here on the left hand side, and then we've got Frisbee, which is a new attraction here for 2018. Now Amazing Confusion used to actually be one of my favourite flat rides in the park, and that used to be located on this site just here. It used to be facing that way, and the entrance used to be up some steps. And yeah, we've got Frisbee. This has actually come over from Dubai. Now Mellors, that own Fantasy Island, actually used to run the rides over in Dubai at the Global Village, and this is where this was a couple of years ago. It was brought over to the UK last year along with another new ride which I'll show you later on here at Fantasy Island. And yeah, Frisbee actually operated along with Magic, which is the second new ride at the park for this year. It operated at Nottingham Goose Fair during October 2017. But yeah, it's great to see it have a permanent position here at Fantasy Island. When I say permanent, at least for this season. They do tend to swap rides about now over the couple of years that they've owned it. So yeah, I look forward to seeing what the future is for Fantasy Island. It looks quite nice out here. I mean, there's no real theming or anything to go with it other than what's fastened to the ride, but it's been fitting quite nicely with the fence just out the front just there. Obviously you can see Uzgang, you can see it's in German on the side. It's got Bremen on the side of it there as well. You see where it says Bremen? Bremen's basically quite close to where Heidi Park is in Germany, and that's where the Huss factory is, who actually manufacture the ride. But yeah, we'll have a little walk round and see what other changes we've got for this season. So I've not had to go far to see some more changes here at Fantasy Island for 2018. You got these couple of kids rides just here. This one on the right was actually located inside the arcade last season. That's been brought outside. And then you got that one just there as well. That was round the front where all the other big rides are at Fantasy Island. So they've been brought round to the back to fill in this space just here. And to be honest, I think they work quite well. This certainly looks better outside than it did inside. It just means that now you're exposed to the weather on it. Now, you've never been to Fantasy Island before. It's quite an interesting setup. You can either buy a wristband to get on some of the rides, you can buy a wristband to get on all of the rides, or you can just get individual ride tokens as well. And as you can see, it's one of those parks where it's not got a boundary, so to speak, of where the park ends. Like there, I was looking at the rides, and the next minute, I'm on a road just out here where there's an arcade. So it's a very interesting park in terms of the layout and things. There's all different shops and things around. It's kind of like how Blackpool Pleasure Beach used to be before they put the whole gated system in there, where you had to have a wristband or buy an entry pass to come in. But it is free entry to walk around all of Fantasy Island. You don't need to pay to go in. And yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I remember a few years ago, you used to actually go on Millennium just here on the outside. Obviously now the entrance is inside the pyramid, which is much better than it used to be, because you used to actually come out of that part of the park, walk down this bit of street just here, and then queue up literally on the steps just on the left hand side there. So yeah, it's a lot better having it that way now. So we'll have a walk around to the front of the park and see what else has changed for this season. So I've made my way round to the front of Fantasy Island now, where the majority of the outdoor attractions are. And I've just noticed here in the final helix for the Millennium Coaster, we've got some brand new pay booths. I mean, it's got Fantasy Island on down the bottom there, pay here, and it's got all the buntings and quite a nice colour scheme to it as well. This actually fits in quite nice with the style of the park. And it's like old style, but quite modern, if you know what I mean, as well. It's like a modern take on it. Yeah, it looks really good, that does. And then you've got a little list over here of all the rides that are available with the different prices. So that's quite a nice little addition. There you go, £4 for the major rides here at Fantasy Island. Volcano, Beast, Frisbee, Odyssey, Millennium, they're all £4. That's the most expensive ride that there is, that set at £4. And you've got others at £2.50, down to £1.50 for different things. So yeah, I think things are fairly priced. Now, as I mentioned earlier on, well, just round the corner, you've got a wristband system, or you can buy your individual tickets. You can buy them from here, and this is where you can get your iCard, basically these different machines, again, which is a really good idea. So you can get a new card, you can top it up, and you can check your balance on these machines, which is quite cool. And unlike, for example, the wristbands at Blackpool Pleasure Beach, where you have to scan it on a turnstile to get through, they've actually got like a little contactless chip built into the wristbands, which you just literally swipe at the ride to get in, which I think is a really good system. It's definitely something what Blackpool could do with looking at going forward, as it works really well, in my opinion, here at Fantasy Island. It's a lot more modern, and instead of having to stand out a turnstile and scan it, literally you just swipe either your card, your iCard, or your wristband at the ride. Rhombus Rocket just here. The park's powered coaster. Picks up a speed, that, I tell you, it gets going quite quick. And now you might remember that a couple of years ago, Twister used to be in the middle just here. That moved last year onto this location just on the right-hand side. Standard Sizzler attraction located just over there at the side. All the nice buildings around here as well. Looks like they've done a bit more painting up for this season. And they used to have the frog bounce where the Twister is now. That's moved through this way, so we'll have a look down this end and see what's changed on the other side of the outdoor section. And the award for the loudest hydraulics on a Dumbo's goes to Fantasy Island with this one. Listen to that, oh my god. You got the Dodgems here as well next to that, a few other children's flat rides. And here's Techno Jump, Frog Bounce, whatever you want to call it. Technical name for it is Techno Jump. I call it Frog Bounce sometimes. But yeah, that's quite an enjoyable attraction actually. All the rocks and things looks like they've been cleaned up at the back just there. And over here you got the log flume. Obviously that's a fixed down feature. So is Rhombus Rocket. They're both fixed attractions, so I don't see them going anywhere for a while, and they can't move those around. Everything else what they have been moving around is a flat ride, so it means that you know, they can just pick them up because of them being transportable rides. All right, let's have a little walk around the back. Volcano, the S&S shot tower. That's still here, looks really good after its paint job a couple of years ago. It'd be nice if they added some effects back in there, like some smoke and things. But yeah, it looks quite fresh all around the park actually. So we'll go around the back of the log flume just here and we'll see the other new attraction for 2018 here at Fantasy Island. It's another flat ride. I don't think it's open at the moment because when I picked up my wristband this morning they did say that it was closed. We'll have a little look, see if it's testing and have a little look at that one. Good to see Volcano then, still in action here at Fantasy Island. Looks good after its paint job a couple of years ago, but it'd be nice for him to add a few effects to that in the bottom of the Volcano down there. It could do with painting up really around the outside, especially to fit in with the rest of the park. But yeah, maybe a few misters, a few smoke effects would be nice around the top of the Volcano. Doesn't look like I'm going to be getting on the Sea Storm ride either today. This was closed last year when we came, as it was in bits, and it's in bits again now, so I assume they're doing a bit of maintenance to it just to get this ready, but it's a standard flat ride, isn't it really? That's the thing with Fantasy Island. A lot of them are standard flat rides, but it's worth coming for the Odyssey and the Millennium Coaster, along with the indoor rides as well. And really, it's a fair price on the wristbands. It's not that expensive at all. Bear in mind, you'll pay £4, £5 a ride at some fairs. It's worth coming here where you can pick up a wristband and then get on all the rides for what I think is a fair price, really. A couple of kids' rides just here as well. You got like a frog hopper and this bus just here. That was one of the new attractions last year. It's not actually that busy here today with it being Easter. I thought it might be quite a few crowds in a minute. It's the Tuesday just after Easter, so I thought it might be quite busy today, but it's not at all actually. The sun's coming back out again now. It did start to spit with rain a little bit just, but yeah, here we go. This is one of the other new attractions for this year that is Magic. Now, I'm not too sure it's open at the moment. It is testing though. When I picked up my wristband earlier this morning, they did say that it was closed at the moment due to maintenance, but it looks like it's testing at the moment. You can see a couple of guys over there at the side, so maybe this will open later on and I can get on there and give you a review of this one. This is another ride that was actually located at Nottingham Goose Fair back in October when we went there. I did show you a bit of footage of it in the vlog. Didn't actually ride it at Goose Fair, but yeah, it's actually owned by Mellors and it's now operating here at Fantasy Island. I say now operating, should be operating this afternoon. I know it was open the other day from a few fans that messaged in and sent in a photo of them next to it, but yeah, that's Magic. Again, no real theming around this one, but they put like a proper queue line in around the front, a few planters and things, so it fits in quite nicely. And then of course the Beasts, the final ride to talk about just here on this outdoor section. Still seems weird seeing Odyssey going round in the background, to be honest. It's a rarity for when I've been anyway. I mean, I've always got this joke about Odyssey, saying it never opens. It does open, but I always seem to pick the days where it's too windy and never get on it. But lucky enough today, I've had 3 rides on it now. I'm going to head over there for some more re-rides in just a moment. But first, it's time to ride what is, in my opinion, the best Mondale top scan. They're all loving it on Rhombus Rocket. The best Mondale top scan in the UK, the Beast. Beware of the Beast here at Fantasy Island. It is a great ride. I'm not too sure it's going to feel quite the same being in this location though. I used to prefer it when it was here and used to go over the road. You used to be able to wave at all the cars, and sometimes a double-decker bus had come along just here and you feel like you were going to hit the bus, which was quite an interesting sensation. But yeah, it's a really good Mondale top scan. Obviously you might be thinking, where's G-Force gone? That was another flat ride that used to be located here. God, they really are screaming on the Rhombus today. It is a good power coaster though. Yeah, G-Force used to be located here. It operated at the park many years ago. It came back, did a couple of seasons, and now it is gone again. To be honest, I wasn't a big fan of it. I thought it was a bit overrated in my opinion. But yeah, that's now gone. And then the Beast has sort of moved over a bit into the spot where G-Force was. Right, enough talking. Let's go on board the Beast, and now I'll try and get some footage for you guys. So of Just had a ride on the real Beast from the East. There we go. I've been waiting all day to say that. You know, I only came today to film this vlog so I could say that saying. But on a serious note, I had a fantastic ride on the Parks Mondale Top Scan. About a 6-minute cycle, which was crazy. To be honest, it was running today better than I've ever seen it before. Really good on a manual operation. So fair play to the operator on that one. But unfortunately, I wasn't able to take you along for the ride using the chest-mounted GoPro. You've always been able to film on the rides as long as it's secure, using either a chest mount or a wrist strap here at Fantasy Island. But I went on and the operator said that I couldn't film on it. Obviously, a couple of hours ago, I went on the Millennium coaster and also the Odyssey, where I was allowed to film on it. So it was a bit interesting, that one. I don't know if it's a new policy, but he said I couldn't film on the Beast due to health and safety. That's fair enough if they've changed the rules, but it needs to be a bit more consistent because I was fine on the 2 big roller coasters earlier on. So I'm not too sure if that's a new policy or if it's just something what the operator was saying on the Beast there. But yeah, I'll see if I can film on some of the other rides later on using the GoPro. If they have changed the policy, then that's fair enough. It's a shame if they have changed it, especially for people like myself that like to film on the rides and take you guys along for the journey. But of course, health and safety first, and if it means that you're not allowed to do it now, I'll respect that. And yeah, it's just a bit of a shame really if I can't take you on board the rides, especially when we've been using a chest-mounted GoPro on them for many years now. But there we go, I'll find out a little bit later on when I try and use it on some of the other rides, I guess. Anyway, I'm going to make my way inside the pyramid now, do a couple more of the rides inside there, do 2 contours, the secrets of Fantasy Island, and have a little walk around in there and see what's going on. Just walking through the piazza area of the pyramid. This is like a little corridor which leads through into it. Got a new restaurant and bar on the left hand side there. It's quite nicely themed, like all the little artifacts and stuff there is on the side. Then we've got another new ride. This one only launched a few days ago, I believe. Another children's ride, the Chairplanes, just here on the left hand side. Priced at £1.50 for that one. Or of course you can use your wristband on that. Looks quite nice with all the lights. I do like how it's all carpeted through here as well. It still looks really clean as well. I mean, they did this last year and yeah, it still looks really good. I suppose they have to keep on top of it and clean it all the time. But yeah, it looks so much better than it did during here. Again, this area was just open before last year when they did the big overhaul. Looks stunning, it really does. Obviously, you've got the rock wall in here, all the other arcade games, and then 2 contours, which is like the little monorail attraction that runs around the top just here. I like how they made these into palm trees as well. That's a good use of the supports. So we'll go on 2 contours, and I'll take you along for the ride on that one. Then it's time to discover the secrets of Fantasy Island. Spooky. Just done the little outdoor section, we're going inside now. Oh, that theming needs a bit of work there, doesn't it?
Amigos! Roll up this way for the secrets of
Fantasy Island. Yeah, the station used to be in a different place to what it is now, but they changed that last year when they did the overhaul of the pyramid. Much better now where it is, at the end of the dark ride section. here. I do like it. A childhood classic for me, this one. Two contours. Just had a really good ride then on Two Contours, which is the monorail that goes through the dark ride section and over the arcade as well. It's an enjoyable ride that I do like all the theming. Needs fixing up a bit there at the entrance to it, but in general it looks really good in there with all the lighting and audio and things. Got a bit of an eerie feel to it. But it's a childhood classic for me, that one. And so is this, the balloons. Again, this is another one that looks even better now with all the lights and things around the side. They did a really good job when they did this overhaul. I know I talk about it a lot, but for me it really made this indoor area. I remember coming here a lot when I was a kid. It just wasn't that special at all. Whereas now it's so much nicer in here. Really good vibe to it. The fact it always feels like night time as well. And on the balloons you get to fly around here, get some really good views, and get to see up close and personal some of the animatronic dinosaurs as well. I'm having a fantastic time here at Fantasy Island so far. Really good to get back to the park and do some of my favourite attractions. You've just seen some footage then from the balloon ride. From up there I showed you a few zoomed in shots of the Lava Creek golf course, which runs on 2 levels all the way around here. And then above just here as well. It's fantastic, a really well themed course. I won't be doing it today because of course mini golf's no fun when you're on your own, but we did do it in the vlog from last year. It was one of the new additions to Fantasy Island for the 2017 season. So if you want to see all of us playing a round of golf, then check out the vlog from when we visited last year. This is a bit of an underrated dinosaur here as well. Really good quality animatronics. We've seen a lot of really good dinosaur animatronics in the UK over the past few years. Obviously Westminster Safari Park, they put in their Land of the Living Dinosaurs with the new Ice Age section. We did a vlog there, me and Charlotte, the other day, so make sure you check it out here on Theme Park Worldwide. Paulton's Park, they did their dinosaur themed area, the Lost Kingdom, which looks absolutely fantastic. Really enjoyed visiting that. I've been there a couple of times now, so check out our vlogs from Paulton's Park to see that. But it seems like dinosaur animatronics are really popular in the UK, and of course you've got the projection mapping which runs all the way up Dragon Mountain, and it does look incredible, it really does, and every so often they've got the shows on there as well. Anyway, I'm going to do a few more re-rides on Millennium now. I've done 1 so far, so I want to get a few more, maybe get up to 5 re-rides on that in this little session. And then I'll go back outside and check out Frisbee, and hopefully Magic will be open as well. It is closed still at the moment, but hopefully I'll get on that today. If not, I'll come back with some of the others on the channel a little bit later in the year and experience that flat ride. I'll do Millennium and I'll show you a few more off-ride shots. So just as I was about to come outside, they announced over the tannoy they were about to do the projection mapping show, and yeah, it was good to see that again. A few more effects on there, a bit of pyrotechnics, some snow as well, and yeah, it was really good, very efficient actually. As soon as it had snowed, they came round and mopped it all up to avoid anybody slipping over. Really good swift operations, and that leads me on to talk about operations in general today. Really good here at Fantasy Island today. Not really many queues around the park, but they're getting them trains out there a lot, and I must say that I've seen the Odyssey and Millennium go round the track more times today than they ever have done. Obviously when it was under previous ownership, they never used to operate the coasters that well at all. Since Mellors took it over last year, they've been doing a really good job, and yeah, operations were great last year for my visit, but this year even better. And yeah, I really like that projection mapping show. It was done by Holovis, the same people that did the pre-show for Wicker Man at Alton Towers, that one. A little fascinating fact for you. Anyway, I'm going to go and do the new ride for this year, Frisbee. I had a little walk past it earlier, and yeah, it's just sat over there, so I'm going to have a go on there, and maybe they might let me take the GoPro on board. We'll soon find out. It's been a bit hit and miss today in terms of on-ride filming, but we'll find out.
Here we go then, I'm on Frisbee, which is one of the new rides for 2018. We've got some fans over there. Whee! Seems like the GoPro's alright chest mounted on this one, just the beast that I've had issues with so far. I asked the staff member on here and he said, yeah, it's fine. So off we go. Like I say, it wasn't running that well at Nottingham Goose Fair, so hopefully it'll be running better today here at Fantasy Island. Let's get spinning. Murder on the dance floor. Get some kick to it now. Whee! I like how all the rides manufactured by Huss have got their logo in the middle as well. You'll see it when it spins back round. Woo! Not really getting much so far. This is about as much as we got at Goose Fair. Hopefully it'll start spinning now. Compared to Amazing Confusion that was here before, it's actually not very intense at all. Completely different ride there and completely different manufacturers, of course. Getting a bit of height now. Here we go, this is more like it. Let's get spinning. Whee! Here we go. Woo-hoo-hoo. That's more like it, that's what we want. Let's have some more of that. Oh yes. Woo-hoo-hoo. Whee! There we go. We didn't get this at Goose Fair. Woo-hoo-hoo. All the way up. Whee! Whoever's next to me is not enjoying this. Woo! The sun's back out now. It looks like it had been raining whilst I was inside. Woo! Much more enjoyable than when it was at Goose Fair. And there we go, that's Frisbee, new for 2018 here at Fantasy Island.
So just come off Frisbee, enjoyed that attraction a lot more here than I did at Nottingham Goose Fair. It it was definitely running a lot better cycle, and towards the end of the ride it really gets going, you get some good momentum, and it all depends where you sat really on that one. Just look at the draw, whether you get to be up high and be spinning around really fast as well. But yeah, it's a good new addition to the park that. I did prefer Amazing Confusion, but there we go, at least we've got some new additions here. It looks like Magic's still closed unfortunately as well, so I don't think I'm going to be getting on that today. Well, like I say, this won't be the only Fantasy Island vlog in 2018. I'll be back in the summer at some point, hopefully with some of the others as well, and yeah, we'll have a good day. I was also able to film on Frisbee. It's really bizarre. I think it was just the person on the beast, I'm not too sure. Anyway, I'm going on Volcano now, the park's S&S shot tower. There it is, or as I call it, Caravan Watch. Let's get on board. So as you've just seen there by the on-ride footage, just had a good ride on Volcano. Caravan Watch, as I like to call it, mainly because you can see all these caravans all the way around you. You don't realise how many there actually is. I mean, this place in the summer must make a fortune from people who are staying locally and on holiday in all the different caravans, and obviously Butlins is down the road as well. And I'm even happier now because I've just walked around the corner and look what's in operation. Magic, the other new ride here at Fantasy Island for 2018. I mean, look at the park now, it's really quiet, coming towards the end of the day on my last couple of rides. So I'm going to go and have a ride on Magic, and hopefully I'll be able to take you along for the ride with me. Seen both some on and off ride footage of Magic, and you know what, I thought that was a really good flat ride. Certainly fits in well here at the park. Believe it or not, I've never actually been on one of those types of rides before, and it's got some good force to it actually. It's kind of a bit like a sizzler at first, the way it pushes you back into your seat and then starts going upwards and swinging round. You know what, it was a good ride, I enjoyed it, and that's a welcome addition here to Fantasy Island. There's about an hour left of the day, and look at the park, it is empty. I mean, the weather's been alright today. It looked like it rained for a bit earlier whilst I was inside the pyramid, but I'm just going to get my last couple of rides in now. The indoor section's open until 7 tonight, and the outdoor rides are about to close in the next 20 minutes, so there's just over an hour to go left here at Fantasy Island. So I'm going to get my few last rides in, so I'll show you some more shots.
But
it's come to the end of my day here at Fantasy Island in Ingoldmells, Skegness. It's been a fantastic day today. It's been great to get back on some of my favourite rides, including Millennium, the smoothest Volcano coaster going, and of course Odyssey as well. It wasn't too windy for it today, but the wind is starting to pick up a little bit now, so I'm glad it stayed open throughout the day. And that leads me on to talk about operations at Fantasy Island today. Fantastic operations by all the team today. Staff have been really friendly as well. And like I say, in terms of the filming, I'm not too sure really what the official policy is now. I've been able to film on everything apart from the Beast today, so I'm not too sure if that was just the operator on there or if it's a new procedure. I'm really not too sure on that one. But yeah, it's 7 o'clock, the park's just closed. Like I say, it's really good what they do. The indoor section is open an hour extra at the moment. The outdoor ride shut at 6, and the indoor rides, including Millennium, because you enter that from inside the pyramid, it's classed as an indoor ride, so that's open until 7 o'clock as well. So I've just had, well, I've probably had over 10 rides on Millennium today, and I had 5 rides on Odyssey, because it did start to get a little bit jolty towards the end of the day, more like I remember it before. The new rides, Frisbee and Magic, really good additions. Magic's definitely my favourite out of the two, and yeah, it's just been a really good day. I like the new colour scheme for Millennium. I think it works really well, and yeah, it's been a great day at the park. I hope you've enjoyed watching the vlog. It's been a while since I've done a solo vlog, but the next one's going to be coming from Blackpool. We've got a special press event up there for Passage del Terra. We're going to be meeting the team behind that, so make sure you stay tuned for that on the channel, and of course an Icon construction update from this week as well, so make sure you watch that here on our YouTube channel. I'll be back at Fantasy Island later in the year. God, it is starting to get windy now. Later in the year, and I hope you tune into that video as well. Thank you very much for watching Theme Park Worldwide, and from Fantasy Island and my bad hairdo, that means it's time to cue those credits. See you soon, guys.